Hey everyone, hope you're well. Stuart here from Stuart's Tarantulas. Thanks for tuning in. Today guys, I'm just going to be doing yet again another housing video of a pretty cool and special spider that I got recently. It's called the Brachypelma Klassi, or the Mexican Pink Beauty. It's a Brachypelma species. It comes from sort of the Mexican region, obviously the parts of Mexico, and it's one of the sought after Brachypelma spiders or tarantulas in the hobby. So I got my hands on a particularly large female, mature female, and I want to just rehouse her. Honestly, I don't like keeping my cages in plastic in enclosures, which are tubs that I get them in. So I've got a glass enclosure here, which is 30 by 25 by 25, and it's just got a opening hinged front door on this side. I'll show you this way. So that hinges open and closes, and it's got a latch on the top. So it's not a brand new enclosure. It is a recycle enclosures as I get spiders. So that's basically it there. I think, let me show you the spider. It's a New World spider, so it does possess urticating hairs. They can be nervous and skittish by nature, the Klassi. It is a strikingly beautiful spider. I do have one mature female in the very same setup down here. She's actually sitting in here. There she is down there. But I'll show you in this tub where she's currently housed. I'll show you what she looks like. You can see she's there. She's if you touch them, you see they're urticating hairs. Like I say, she's a pretty big female. I'm very happy with her. They get their name, the Pink Beauty, from, let me use my brush, from these sort of pinky orangey sort of coloration there. They've got this beautiful black, and it's got a little bit of pinkish setter in its urticating hairs, a black carapace, black femurs, and an overall a stunning species, genus, the Brachypelma. If you can, if you're a beginner, there are quite a few Brachypelmas that I would recommend as beginners. Hamorai, which is the red knee, is a pretty good beginner. This is also a pretty good beginner tarantula, to be honest. The Klassi, very nice. You also get the Brachypelma emilia, the Mexican red leg. Those are also sought after. I do have two mature females of that. So yeah, Brachypelmas do require a kind of a drier setup. Let me just put this hide back over her so she feels a little bit more safe, and I'll keep the lid on it quickly. I don't need to go into much detail there. So they are a fantastic spider to keep. Low humidity levels, dry setup is fine. Good ventilation, water dish, basic setup for a tarantula. So let's go ahead and set this girl up, man. Yeah, I'm quite excited to get this out of this plastic into glass. I always say, I kind of say, glass to me is class. I prefer glass, it's class, over plastic. So yeah, let's start with this. I'm just going to get some substrate, and I'm going to start filling the enclosure up. So I'll start filling this up with a mixture of substrate, which is a mixture of peat. It's a mixture cocoa peat. It's a mixture of organic potting soil. I'm going to let this dry as with the with the environment in my tarantula room. My tarantula room currently sits at around about 26 degrees, even though we're in winter. So it is heated. So I'm not too concerned about that. One important tip, guys, I must tell everyone is, please, we are just going through winter at the moment in South Africa. Wherever you are in the world, or here we don't experience winters like you do maybe in Europe and the US, but we do have temperatures that dip below zero, and heating is vital for tarantulas. Number one, just came to my mind now, sorry for babbling on, but anyone, never put a heating pad directly under the cage, because that will, the tarantula will burrow down to it, and then it won't, it will basically fry itself. So if you're using heating pads and you got a setup like shelving like this, I don't have any heating pads on my setup because I've got circulating warm air. So currently sitting at 26, lower shelves 25, higher shelves probably about 26 up here, 26 going down to 25. This is 25, and the bottom shelves closer to 24 degrees. So the warmer the hot air rises and the cool air sinks. So 26, 25, 24, that's all good. Any cold temperatures in the evenings, they can kill your tarantulas. That is the honest truth. I know a few people recently lost a few tarantulas, sadly, due to the cold weather they experienced, and they didn't have enough heat. And that very sadly does happen. So yeah, just that is one huge thing in winter, guys. If you want to get into the tarantula hobby, just make sure you are equipped with the correct requirements to keep the spiders. Don't just go and purchase it by just off the cuff and think, oh, I love the look of that spider, I want it, but you've got no means of keeping it. So if you can't keep your tarantulas, if you can't maintain them and look after them, don't abuse them. Rather let someone else who's got the experience keep them. Or if you need the experience, if you need any help, feel free to reach out to me. Drop me a comment. My link to my Instagram account is in the description of the video. I'll put it in here. So if you need any help, need any advice, just send me a direct message. I'll come back to you, or drop me a comment in the video. I will come back to you if you need any assistance, whether you're here in South Africa or abroad. So I'm kind of just creating this so long. I think this is going to work out quite nicely. I'm not finished yet. So I've created, these are terrestrial species, so they can dig a little bit, but they are terrestrial by nature. So I've created a nice big hide for her here. I'm creating a top shelf here and a low shelf here. So my substrate is not going to go beyond this level, whereas the substrate is just going to come out when the tarantula moves around. I don't want it to come out and make a mess everywhere, which they can do, which they often do. So I'm just going to put a little bit more substrate in the back. This will, there's a little bit of an art in doing this. Not an art, but you just need improvise and just throw it around. This substrate, like I said to you, is going to dry out. It is going to become progressively drier. One thing to please bear in mind, people, is too much stagnant air and moisture in your enclosures can result in your spiders getting ill. Respiratory diseases like DKS. DKS is a very terrible disease for your disorder for your tarantulas to get. There are ways to try and treat it, but success rate is not too high. Mortality rate is high though, but there is success rates. I have had personally success rates in having a spider that had DKS, and even without the spider molting, and I've had the spider recover. Classic example, I'll bring it out now while I'm talking about it, is my Asian fawn. This is an old world spider. She had DKS. Now this is a very defensive tarantula. It's an old world. Look at that. She had DKS And look at her. She is completely normal now. Look, she's defending herself. She hasn't even molted. And I'm going to rehouse her soon. She's outgrowing this enclosure. But yeah, there are ways of overcoming that. And that primarily is heat, ventilation, and dryness. So sometimes you need to create an environment for your tarantulas, almost like an ICU environment where the spider is isolated and is DKS is not contagious, so don't worry about that. If I'm talking about DKS, it's not contagious to other spiders, but it will affect your spider and can make your spider really sick. Okay, but I'm just digressing, but I hope that little bit of information helped. If you need help, let me know. I will certainly try and assist you if you have any problems like that. All right, so I'm just about finished with the substrate here. I'm creating a top level because the tarantulas like to walk around. I'm trying to get away from a lot of height. I don't want the spider to fall, so I am building up the sides here a little bit. And I may just change something on here to put the water dish, because these spiders do dig out. Yeah, no, I'm not going to. I'm going to leave the water dish in this corner, this side here. Just going to put it in a little bit there. I've got a little bit of decor here. So little stones. I'm going to try and create a buffer so if she bulldozes the soil around, that she doesn't kind of, I know they're actually strong spiders and they can lift these things up, so I'm just trying to create a little buffer around it, and hopefully she climbs. Let's just lower this a little bit, shame, yeah, so she can get to the water dish. I've got a little piece of driftwood here just for a little bit of decor. You know what, see what happens when you rehousing. You can change your mind at the blink of a heartbeat. Let's do this, let's do that, and this we can maybe put here. This is like a retainer. Now me put some leaves in, leaf litter, dry leaf litter, sprinkle it around a little bit. I'll give you guys a little peek of what it looks like now, and take it from there, see what you think. Pretty happy with this. Turn the enclosure around and you can have a good look inside. So what do you think? There's a water dish here. I've just put this here. Like I said, it's not a moisture dependent species, so she'll live a lot of her life in this. Hopefully she goes into this. There's enough space for her to go in there. It's completely hollowed out, so she's got space between here and here to hide herself away. She can walk around. She can walk around over the top. It's completely flattened there. And if she does decide to excavate around, I can always intervene at a later stage and add more substrate in the enclosure as well. So yeah, the last thing I need to do is just turn it around, and I'm going to add some water. I mentioned before, I always use purified water, no chlorine in it, chemicals, etc. that are harmful for your tarantulas. So just another guideline with regards to moisture in your enclosures, people, is when you if your substrate dries out, you've got a Brachypelma emilia, you've got a Brachypelma amori, or if you've got the Klassi, whatever Brachypelma you've got there, or even a Grammostola pulchra, if you've got one of these spiders, or Chaco goldeni, a Grammostola pulchripes as an example, you don't need to worry about moisture in the substrate. You can kind of let it dry, be a bit dry, but all you do is the water bowl, just make sure you get clean water in the water dish at all times, and then all you do to give that little bit of humidity is you overflow the water dish and you wet the surrounding substrate around this immediate area here. You don't need to go and soak the whole spider. That's soak the whole enclosure. In my experience, I found if you over soak an enclosure or over spray it, over mist it, it creates too much humidity. That's when your spiders are prone to getting ill, getting diseases. So that's one huge tip I can give. So I'm going to now cut the spider, and I'm going to rehouse her in here. So I can actually turn this kind of sideways like that. I'm going to get rid of this lid. Let us take this makeshift hide, which I don't like. I prefer cork bark, prefer as natural as possible. Let's take the stone out that was in this tub. Don't get me wrong, this enclosure that it's in is adequate and the right size for the spider. It's just, I'm not a fan, it just doesn't fit into my setup, and it just I don't have space for this awkward shape as well. So I'm using my catch cup, I always use. So I'm going to just gently move her around to get her into a position. Oh, she's kicking some hairs. She's a big girl. I mean, look here, give you an idea of her size. She's diagonal leg span. She's sitting at about 16 centimeters. Her body length here, from fangs to abdomen, she's probably sitting at about 7 centimeters. So she's a big girl. Let's not get it wrong. Okay, so I'm going to gently prod her from the back, constant contact on her abdomen. She's not kicking at the moment. And let her walk up. Just brush off the old substrate. There she goes. So, got this if you want to use it. She's not going to run anyway. I've got complete trust in the spider. Don't worry about. So what's nice about this is they curl up into the top here, and they feel a bit more secure in an area like a burrow. So when they go into the hide here, they will she'll feel a lot more secure. So all I'm going to do is just put the catch cup inside here. I'm just going to take the lid off here, and if you've got a catch cup that's not like a bottle like this, you can always drill holes in the sides here if you've got a straight cup, and you can always put your paintbrush through and help her out. I just find this so much more easier. I just put the brush inside and just gently ask her nicely to back up. And then as you're doing this, you're retracting with your left hand. With my left hand, I'm pulling it back. And there we go. No arguments, no fighting, no fuss with this girl. She went straight in. She is in. I'm not even phased about her. There she's walking about. I'm not even phased about closing the enclosure yet. I know she's not going anywhere. I'll turn, oopsie, no, girl, come on. I'll turn the enclosure so you can get some nice shots of her from this angle here. If you want to have a close-up look here, you can come and maybe camera lady bring the camera a bit closer. You can have a good look at her there, and maybe from the side, you can see her from the side, from the top. You can have a good look at her there. So I'm pretty confident she's going to use this hide inside here. She's going to use that, and she will use that and hide in there and walk around. This enclosure is big enough for her currently, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'll actually turn it this way so you can see here. Go around. So they are a terrestrial species, so that's it. I I may just rehouse her again in maybe a year. I can take off these gloves now, being done with the urticating hairs. So got my long sleeves on, had my gloves on, and yeah, I don't know, avoided any hair kicking. But if you are very sensitive to the urticating hairs, I advise us wearing a mask over your nose and over your mouth. You don't want to inhale those hairs if you've got a bad experience with housing New World tarantulas. Those urticating hairs can be really irritating, to say the least, as well as give you a very bad cough, not good for your sinuses at all. So yeah, it's not something you want to get on your skin, on your arms. It will just make you itch like crazy. But yeah, that'll do it for this housing, guys, of my Brachypelma Klassi, or the Mexican Pink Beauty. What do you guys think of the species? What do you think of the spider? Or what do you think of the genus Brachypelma? Drop us a comment. I'd love to hear from you. If you take the time, if you go and take the time to comment, I'll take the time to respond, and I will respond to all of the comments on my channel or on my videos. I really appreciate the support, guys. If I can ask you to please subscribe to my channel, click the bell icon notification. I think it's this side or this side, I'm not too sure, but I really appreciate your support. Please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification icon, like the video and share it. I really appreciate it, and thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate your support, and I will see you in the next video. As always, guys, thank you and love your tarantulas. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.